So, another week, another SDR's journal. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, I will start with a disclaimer. First off, I have lost my voice a bit, so if I sound a bit scrappy, I apologize for that. But if you are new here, in the SDR's journal, I talk about three key learnings from the week before that I've had a chance to pick up and practice. And yeah, if you're not new here, I appreciate the support as always. But let's get right into it. So number one, this is phrase that I've been using a lot more recently when it comes to any sort of email objections, whether it comes to when I'm asking a prospect for something, or whether it comes to like cold calling objections, or when I'm on a cold call, an email, or whatever. It's the if you don't mind me asking. And it's been working. I maybe tested this a bit, and it has been working a lot better as compared to, let's say, for example, if a a you send someone an email and they're like, we're one of your competitors. They don't give you the information about like who the competitor is. Instead of just asking, what is that competitor? I've started to preface it with, if you don't mind me asking. And I find that that shows a bit more empathy in your approach. Saying that, if you don't mind me asking, you're kind of just like being a bit more kind of putting your hands up and being like, hey, like I'm just showing as much empathy as possible here. So I have found this to be a lot more effective with especially finding out information as such that you need to break further into that account that you're working as a whole. So if you don't mind me asking, try it. Let me know what you think. The second thing is, if you're in a space as an SDR, which is quite competitive, of course, a lot of times you'll come up against a competitor that the company that you're prospecting into might be working with. So one sort of way to handle that objection per se that I found has been pretty effective recently, because at least at the start of my tenure at Loopio, I did struggle with, when they were with like how to handle like when a prospect is working with one of your competitors. But this phrase of when someone says, hey, we're working with X competitor, this idea of saying sounds like things are 10 out of 10 and going perfectly with your current provider. And 8 times out of 10, the person's like, well, it's not 10 out of 10. Like, there's always room for improvement. And then you can kind of dig deeper and move into that. I think I tried it like 3 to 4 times in the last couple of weeks. And out of I think the 4 times that I tried, I think 3 times I got some level of pain, or at least the conversation, it kind of gave me a bit of an opening at least. Um, so this is something that I've been using personally to get better at dealing with competitors. I'm sure internally, potentially, if you're a bigger organization, you may have battle cards that you can work with, and other resources internally as such. But this phrase of sounds like things are 10 out of 10 and going perfectly for you, I picked this up from Josh Braun, his objection handling card. So full credit to him for that. We'll recommend trying this out to see how this works. The last thing I say is, and this is for not even for anyone else, but this is for myself. I was talking to one of my mentors and I was like, December's coming up, I'm taking some PTO. I really, really want to hit quota, but I don't know, it seems almost impossible. I guess I'll just like maybe like, just try my best in December, and then, January again, we'll pick it up. And I remember he mentioned to me, he was like, there's, especially in sales, there's always going to be an excuse each month. December, people are off. January, people are coming back, so they don't have time to meet. June, July, August is right after the summer. November is Thanksgiving, so there's always like an excuse for each month, I guess. And his idea was that if you just are consistent with your prospecting, you're choosing the right accounts, it's high quality and high quantity of outreach as such. The work pays off in the long run. So instead of instead of kind of writing off December as a whole, what can you do in the weeks leading up to December? So those last couple of weeks of November to maybe increase your activity, or what can you do to front load your December? So maybe trying to make sure that you front load the first 2 weeks. That's something that I've been working on. Might pay off, might not. I might be sitting at December 31st, completely have missed my quota as such, but in the end, knowing that at least I gave him 100%, that's something that I've been focusing on. And that was just a mindset piece that we were working on together, where it was like, don't, and I keep messing this phrase up, but don't take your foot off the pedal, especially when it's in December, because the work that, let's say December doesn't pay off, but the work that you do prospecting wise in December is going to end up paying off maybe in January or in February as such. So the wheel keeps turning, the wheel keeps spinning. That's just the SDR role as a whole. You could have an amazing November, but if you're not putting the work in, 2 months from now or 9 days from now, you might see an impact, a negative impact as such. So those are the 3 key learnings from this week. Hope you enjoyed. Feedback, as always, love that stuff. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Cheers.